What's going on? Once again, it's alive. It's called What's Going On. Um, Let me see. Hopefully, we can get some people to chime in on this particular live stream. Some regulars, some newbies, whatever. I see it's some lurking out there, but I don't know if you really rocking with me or not. So I'll give it some time. I know it's not a quick response, but I'll kick back. Well, someone out there liked it. That's a good thing. It's always good to be liked, and it's also always good to have a response if someone actually dislikes you. At least you know where they stand. So both are comparable to your growth. Shall I say? Let me see. Reddit Shy, what's going on? Matter of fact, since I was supposed to go on with Will, but I don't know if he KO'd or whatnot. If you can go on, come on, then I'll hit your line if it ain't too loud where you're at or something. I just need someone to bounce it off. What's going on, Cadillac J? Just another contributor that contributes to Two Kudakan, like I always say. Go and subscribe to Cadillac J Justice's channel. He does a little bit of the same thing that I do, but it's a little bit different too. So go over there and subscribe over there. Grow his channel as well. I support the people that I feel need support, not people that I can care less about. I'm kind of low. Okay. Hold on a second. Okay. Hopefully this is better. I'm a little bit more closer to the mic. Hopefully that clear that up. Okay. So what's the topic? What shall the topic be tonight? Like I said, I don't got Will to bounce off me. Bounce off questions or different little things. So I'm kind of riding here solo. I didn't have nothing really prepared to speak on. So if any one of y'all want to get put in, we could bounce around until some people start saying whatever. What happened last night? What happened last night? I'll say it like this. That what is it? That live that I had, or not live, but that video that I put up. That essentially, think about it like this: that video I put up where it's gray and it says, two particular people that are on the platform of YouTube, had an issue. So essentially, if you listen to that particular video that I put up, I was essentially trying to broker peace between the two parties. Well, the other party didn't see like they wanted any type of peace. They wanted to, keep going with something for whatever reason. So, with that being said, Reddit Shop, posted, or not posted. He said the thing and say, "Oh yeah, you ain't pull your videos down like you stipulated within that actual video. You didn't do that, and you said that." So usually a man of his word, does something like that. The one particular party, they did that. They stood on, their principalities, and they did that. But the other party didn't. So when I'm hearing all this, you know, when the show's going on with Rated Shot and the Infamous, and I'm hearing these wild accusations, I'm like, wait a minute, I gotta actually call into my own show to, kind of stop this from going on, because that ain't what was said. I mean, anybody could go back and listen to that audio and hear, ain't nothing I said. It's what they said out there on my. If I was gonna take that down, okay, why didn't you? Well, that means you're clout chasing. So why? The actual video that I left up that some people may seek issue with, um, me and that particular party had a conversation about this, saying, no, I don't got no problem with it. Because I actually was going to say, you know what, I can pull that down if it's causing so much, problems or issues. I'm man enough to pull it down, not childish, not, damn near working on having a transplant to be a bitch or anything like that. I'm able to do that without issue. And some people respected that, so I left it up. But to me, it's one video where all the parties within that video that had said discrepancies hashed it out and talked it out, and essentially that's what it was. So people that want to stay versed in drama, they don't want that. Because to me, think about it like this, it's been said before, um and we all know this, with drama always sells. When you start talking positive, or having things that can actually contribute to someone's growth, that doesn't really get a lot of responses. And yes, I know a lot of my videos, when it's talking positive, or I have invite y'all brothers to speak your piece on certain particular issues, and it's on a positive note, they may not get a lot of views, because first of all, they discriminate on my channel heavily. But when I do something that may seem like, and it ain't so much I want to do that, but it's me speaking my truth on, like, what, I'm not with that drama, or perpetuating whatever, those do numbers. But I'm not here to do numbers. I'm just here to speak in a positive manner to uplift brothers and sisters. Hopefully deter people from rocking with people that really don't rock with you. You have a conversation long enough, you'll be able to tell what type of person you're dealing with. You don't have to add too many to me, a lot of people like to blow smoke rings up your rear end. I don't do that. If you cool, I rock with you. But once you start showing that you're kind of faulty, then I'll just step away from you. I'll back up. You can have that. You just can't have it on this platform. I mean, think about it like this: YouTube is a big corporation, a big conglomerate. It's so many other channels you can go to and dive into that. It's a home for everybody to do certain things like that. But I'm not one of them that dwells in that. So with that being said, hey, a person don't like it. Hey, not everyone's gonna like you. So what? What is one person out of hundreds of thousands of countless millions and billions? It's nothing. So when someone reveals who they are, hey, believe them. Just believe them. Be like, okay, I can't rock with it. But when someone is trying to basically call you a liar on your own particular platform, no. Yes, we men, we get boisterous. We ain't gonna be talking softly. But, like I was stressing last night, you can talk softly to bitches sometimes. You gotta get in your bitch voice for a bitch. So I was still able to articulate what I needed to say in a soft manner, because some people are soft as fucking cookie dough, and they need to be talked to like that. But then again, it's whatever. I can talk whatever way I want to talk. I'm talking to you. To me, I look at it like this: if you're feeling so offended, you just hang up. But essentially, you want to hear what I have to say. So that means you're an inquisitive ass bitch that wants to hear me chastise you. So, but then again, you figure we're dealing with them types that are they don't know which way is up, essentially. They don't know which way to go. So You know, there's a lot of people dealing with, unchecked mental issues and things like that. So I guess you got to kind of be mindful of that as well. Now let me see. Let me look. Okay, Lisa Smith, you said you could only be on a little bit. What's good, Lisa? What's good, Cadillac? You said you kind of low. Okay, that's what's up. What happened last night? You wasn't put on this earth for everybody to like you. Most definitely, Shy. Most definitely. Like I said last night, if anyone has a problem, call. Okay, yeah, most definitely, most definitely, most definitely. You said this clicking up and joining forces shit is high school. Most definitely is high school. To me, I mean, like I was stating earlier, it's like the super friends or what they call it, the super haters, They all want to join, like, oh, this person kicked me off and this person made me feel like this. He treated me like a hoe and like a bitch. I mean, how can I treat you like anything? I don't got that kind of power, and I'm glad that you bestow the honor like I got that much power, but I don't got that much power. I mean, we all supposed to govern our own lives. So with that being said, I mean, if you left your what's the word, if you left yourself open, like a vaginal cavity, and somebody rammed their rod up in you, I mean, what can be said about that? I mean, you're the one that left yourself open like that. So I don't know. I think men shouldn't cry over spilled milk. That's usually either childish little kiddies or something like that. People with, like I said, mental issues, Rain Man issues, radio issues, someone that's really, incapable of, comprehending, what's really going on with them. Lisa Smith, you said you ain't for the BS. Hey, I don't think anybody's for the BS. Matter of fact, it's almost like, think about like a groupie. A groupie is, and I like what you're doing and all this. I'm like, I appreciate that. But we all should have something that we're doing that we appreciate out of our own selves, not the next man. I mean, yeah, we give the next man props, like, hey, what you doing, keep strong. That's cool. But once it starts going into the groupie type shit, that's, to me, that's like bitch qualities is coming out. Like, why you gotta be real bitches around me? You can't feed my ego, because I don't have an ego. A lot of people say, Rick, you got all this and all that. So what about that? I'm just a man, just like anybody else. I put one leg in my pants leg at a time. I still had to sit down and do that. I mean, I guess you could stand up and put one, jump both feet into your pants and get going, but I ain't trying to be all extra creative like that. But some people think, oh, you get to talk to whoever and got these kind of hookups and connections. I mean, anybody else can do that. It's called self-initiative, and you can get anything you want manifested in this world. But trying to piggyback off of somebody else, how I look at it, I never ask anybody else, you know what, you should hook me up with this person, or you should put me on. No, it's called put yourself on. The people that got to do that to me is bitches in my mind. I just look at them like a hoe. Now, if I put people on, is out of genuine strength out of me wanting to do that. Like, you know what, I see them as being as solid enough, I'm gonna do that, because they've been showing me nothing but love. But when you're doing that snaky ass behavior, I just gotta let that shit play itself out. I'm like, okay, I see how you're moving. I'm just gonna peep and watch you. I really don't need to fuck with you. I'm just having a cordial conversation with you. Everything is a cordial conversation until something shows itself to be like, you know what, it needs to move past here, because they're really a solid person. Oh yeah, kind of like you said, you think entertainers look at it different. Yeah, well, I mean, I look at it like, I'm not an entertainer. I don't play the entertainment field. I may talk to people that have something to do with entertainment and things like that, but I'm just a average everyday Joe that's trying to keep my head above sea level. So how they figure things and go about things, hey, I don't play that realm, and I make that up front. I tell people, no, I don't get down like that. But if you do, that's good for you. That is good for you. You can do all that. I do what I do. I'm not changing my program. Haven't before and ain't trying to change it. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. See, once you start trying to improve upon something that you've been, comparable at doing, that's when you take that ultimate L. I ain't with doing any of that. Okay, Lisa said, Cadillac, if you have a problem with someone, how do you handle it? As a matter of fact, like I said, my phone hasn't changed. If it was an ultimate problem, they could have rang my number and say, you know what, I kind of didn't like that. But you think about it like this: they rather call when infamous Lisa Smith and Rated Shy was on. Like, oh well, Reek ain't on. He don't usually come on when they're on, so I can essentially talk sideways and say all these mistruths and things like that, and the public is hearing this. But no, I'm gonna call in and set the record straight. And yes, I got louder because I was hearing a whole bunch of BS. Right, you say you call or send messages directly as soon as possible. Yes, you don't do the subliminal. You don't do any of that, That's called bitch behavior. You don't play your whole card like, you know what, you did this, you know what, you did that. No, that's whole shit. Why you want to do whole shit? That just lets you know how big of a bitch you is. For anyone that acts like that, I'm not calling anyone out on that. It could be anybody that does that. If I did that, like, Reek, you know what, you a bitch for that, and I had to eat that. You know why? Because that means, I did something that's kind of bitchy and unbecoming of a man, and I had to eat that. But see, a lot of times people don't want to eat the shit that they're, expelling from their being. They just want to, oh, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. No, it was you. All signs point to you. MD, what's going on? What's up? What's up? Matter of fact, let me, since I'm the one-man band tonight, I'll throw up the hotline and hopefully, someone wants to elaborate on the little tidbit that I'm speaking on. And we can, have a diverse conversation. And it doesn't have to be about hate. It just got to be about, what? This is my truth. This is my reality. This is where I'm coming from. It ain't about throwing nobody under the bus or anything like that. Let me see. Let me see. Matter of fact, let's see, once I do this, I gotta make sure, because I know it's a certain setting. If I don't turn it on, it will not let the calls come through. So let me go to that setting to make sure everything is copacetic to work out like it should. Okay. Okay. Okay, now it should work. So hold on a second. I'll drop the hotline, and those that are out there that's rocking with me and just want to add something, hey, go ahead and call in. It's nothing. The hotline is posted. So let me see what I missed. Yeah, so like I said, if I don't rock with something, I just don't rock with it. And you think about it, I done had similar issues like this before. I kept continuing on, minding my business. You said why? Okay. Yeah, I just kept continuing on my business, but it's like you got people that hide their hands and throw them stones. Like, why? Just, if you got an issue, like I felt this way, and it shouldn't have to be no hate or anything. It's just I felt this way, I didn't like it. Okay, next, move on. Not, yeah, it wouldn't be this or without that, or I mean, come on, what's that do? That's just showing, someone's acting like a crybaby. Don't be a crybaby. If you've grown and if you're so popular and well known, keep doing that. That means, oh, you didn't have nothing to affect what I was doing. I don't. So why are you steadily crying about it? I don't understand that. That means the opposite is in play. Now you still there, Rated Shot? You still there, Infamous? You still there, Cadillac J Just? Like I said, they need to implement something to let you know, like, okay, they're still within the feed or not. Because then it's like you don't know if you're still talking with certain people or not, because it doesn't let you know if a person done dropped out once they done, popped in. I think that's a feature they should add since we in the 2020. That should be something that they, you know, add to the particular features of being able to when you're conducting live streams or interactions on any of these particular platforms. Okay, you said why don't wait a minute. I know that got to be a joke, MD. Think what you just said. Why don't they do that? It's because it's called a case. That's called a case. Because not just regular everyday Joes watch those particular videos. It's the other people that's trying to build their careers in whatever type of enforcement that they went to school for however many years. So that's why. And matter of fact, what made that so bad is, it's a lot of I'll say TV producers, movie producers, they try to champion certain people that, you know what, you should do this, you should do that, without those particular people really thinking about that's kind of goes against the code of, what we're out here doing. Matter of fact, think about it. At a time, it was a time nobody kind of knew about certain things of certain lives. But then once, you know, different type of platforms, different type of people came out to be, got them to become comfortable. You know what? We could do documentaries or we could do whatever, and you know, making it seem like, oh, you won't face anything like that. No, if someone's still dibbling and dabbling in certain things, and you do certain things on camera, they're gonna pose, especially if you're a melanated person, they're gonna pose that, oh, they're really doing this. So we really need to seek something into this. We really need to make some examples. No. That's why I don't support any channel that's trying to repurpose audio to make that seem like that's okay. Because that gives young brothers or brothers that ain't really knowing about certain things when it comes to life, period, certain walks of life, and they get them caught up in something that they are not prepared to get themselves out of. Yeah, it might be easy to start moving towards a certain thing, but those people that are essentially laying a trap, they're trapping. The enforcement is trapping to get caught up in certain things like that. So I don't champion any of that. Any smart man knows not to do anything like that. What you do in life is what you do in life. It shouldn't have to be explained by anybody else. No, it ain't nothing about being sorry. It's nothing about being sorry. It's just you gotta really think that through. Think about it. This is regular. Like when something happens, it only have to be with the life. Like someone gets hit by a car or something like that, and say you may have a warrant for something. Some person that's not thinking like, oh, the news reporter wants to talk to me. I'm gonna talk to him and everything. Give him my whole name and everything. Well, okay, it shows the news reporter, film this person right here. Yeah, and I live right here at my aunt's house. But you got a warrant, so now the people are gonna go right to where you're at because they've been looking for you. But people aren't thinking like that. Like news camera, I want it. Why I want to be on camera? This is going, I won't say nationwide, but it might be local around your area. And if someone's really looking for you, they're gonna, easily find you and spot you. So you want to get away from the news camera if you really not want it to be seen or something like that. This is kind of simple, common sense. But a lot of people, they get gassed up about certain things and forget about that till it's too late. you said, do wannabe female pimps got real game? I mean, that ain't no pimp. That's a madam. You know, they make that salacious and like, ooh, it's a pimp. No, a madam. You know, it's females that can send females because they got the hookups on calls or, you know, certain places to work and things like that. But it's not like a man. It's totally different. It wouldn't even be called a gentleman of leisure because they're not a gentleman. They're a lady. I'll say lady of leisure, lady of the night, but it's totally different. Just like, think about a man fighting a woman. Well, you know, if a man gets in a ring with a woman, his ferociousness is gonna be, his testosterone in him is gonna dominate her. I don't care how many wins and knockouts she done had. When she's going against a man, it's gonna be totally different. You know, it's gonna be more of you know, is you just know you done seen it coming up in school and things like that. Female talk something crazy to a dude, and the dude that's no holds bars. Some dudes that be like, I'm not gonna hit a woman. And then there's other ones like, you put your hands on me, I'm gonna make you wish you never put your hands on me. So I mean, you just gotta look at it from that standpoint. It plays through all life. Just think, even people working regular jobs. A woman boss is different than a man boss. Or you think about it like this, even in law enforcement. Think you've been stopped by a male police officer. You've been stopped by a woman police officer. Most times it's worse in certain cases to be stopped by a woman because they're trying to go extra harder to prove like they're like a man. Versus sometimes, yeah, some men can be assholes, but they can be cool and cut you some slack. Like, yeah, I know you done, did this, hey, straighten this up next time. The woman might be like, nah, you're going in and yeah, what I smell, what I see, it could be totally different. So you got to look at it in all parameters, not just the little, oh, do you think this person has more, whatever, or, you got to expand it to all walks of life, because we're all within life. Is just, different walks of life. Anybody else out there? Anybody else out there? Like I said, I'm taking calls. If you actually want to call in, you can call in. The hotline is actually open. I do take calls. I don't duck calls, I take calls. But if you're talking crazy, I gotta drop your call because it ain't making sense. Why XPs don't show more positive ventures? Well, I think about it, they do. I mean, in the past they did. Some people that dabbled in the life. They maybe started a bar, or maybe they started a restaurant, or something along those lines, where they're still actually dealing with people. They're still actually seeing people of different walks of life. They have, some people that start, well, I'll say limo service, but you think about it, personal car service now, you can be Uber Black or something like that. They transition, they do that, but it's not like a pulpit where, okay, I'm tuning into whatever and I'm talking with all these ex whatevers and they're saying whatever. I mean, it actually comes from knowing someone that was actually within the life and seeing how they made their transition. I know, like I said, it's been built up in the media to look a certain way, but people that you see as P's or gentlemen of leisure that had their way with women, they do transition their lives to do other things. It's just they try not to. Well, I won't say they try not to, but it's not like these people are actors where you can talk to the actor. Well, okay, they're talking with Denzel today, and he's going to be speaking on. I mean, it's not like that. These are real life, living and breathing people. And I'm not saying that actors are not living and breathing, but a lot of times when you see actors, they're obligated to contract. So it's like they got to show up at this event. They talk to these many reporters because these reporters work for this news organization that's has some dealings with the movie company and things like that. So you kind of look at it as the same. To me, when it comes to gentlemen of leisure, it comes to comedians, it comes to rappers, it's all about timing. Even boxers, it's all about timing. A lot of people like Gentlemen of Leisure, to me myself, I don't look at people that live the life as, oh, they don't have their way with females. No, I look at it as almost like a comedian. You know, a comedian has timing. The things, the way he say certain things can get the crowd moving a certain way, because it's like they're pulling you in until they drop the next thing that are like, man, I didn't think about that, and get you to laughing and get you intrigued. I look at it from the timing aspect, not a, what he's saying to a female to get her to do whatever, because it's other people that ain't peas that can do that. But it's a timing on saying certain words. It's almost like how a rapper say certain things on time. Think about it like this: you can have the best rap laid out on paper, but if the if the person doesn't know how to say it and say it on a certain timing, it's not gonna come off right. And it could be the best rap written. It's all about timing. It comes down to timing. A lot of things deal with timing, the way you say it. Think about it like the newscaster. It's not just a regular everyday Joe reading the news. That's even timing. Think about it like tonight's news. Brother comes through the area in a brand new Cadillac, and he is a certain way that they direct the words, so you can they're enunciating everything that's said. You're hearing it, but they're saying it in a way where it's like, okay, that's heartwarming, or that makes me feel this kind of way. It's a way that they're saying it all has to do with timing. What's going on, Choice? Hey, look at it like this. If you're intrigued with the books, they're always live. Go and do your mind, not your body. Do your mind good in purchasing them. I mean, I can't tell you. I mean, I could tell you, but that's taken away from actually, going out making a purchase yourself, and getting versed in whatever information that you may grab and take from those particular books, to aid you in your sojourn. I just look at it like this. A lot of people look at Gentlemen of Leisure as mythical because they probably didn't have no uncles, or they didn't have no brothers, no uh, daddies, no grandpappies, no your pop's partner. Nobody was like that. So when you see certain people, you be like, ooh, they just must got it all figured out. I mean, they're like everybody else. It's something that everybody doesn't know, and then there's other things that other people do know. I mean, you can't look at it as like they're so much more greater than me. They're just like you. They just, put their effort towards whatever they put it towards to be more versed in it. It's just like you could be a car mechanic. You could know how to hook up switches on lowriders or something like that. You're versed in that, but you don't know how to drive a semi or something, or you don't know how to mix concrete to lay concrete in your driveway in a house that you just got or something like that. People are versed in it. It's a formula to everything. Now, depending on how intrigued you are in whatever walk of life, I mean, if you want to know about it, you're gonna verse yourself in it, whatever that may be. You gotta verse yourself. You can't just be like, you know what, I got these few things to make it seem. Because think about it like this: we don't see it on social media where people posed, the little young brother posed as a doctor, had people fooled thinking he was a doctor because he knew the topical things to say that some doctors say. But once he was pressed on certain things that doctors really do, it came out like he's not really a doctor. He's not a child prodigy. He's a child conman that can, to the topical, to the people that don't really know, he could come off like that. So you just gotta be well versed in whatever you want to do. Well versed. I'm into buying all kind of cars. Well, with me wanting to be into all kind of cars, I gotta know, okay, what kind of cars is to buy. What kind of cars really have tranny issues? What kind of cars, if I do get this, will I be able to flip this and make some money with? How much money is it gonna take me to get this into a position where I could turn it around and make my dough from it? I mean, it's so many variables within it. But a person that don't know about cars, they wouldn't even know anything about it. Like, oh, it starts up, it run. Okay, that's cool. No, it goes much more than that. Yeah, yeah, you most definitely, Choice. You said real peace, dedicate themselves to mastering the game that they find themselves within, the game of life. I mean, yeah, we say game because it's talking about certain lifestyles that not a lot of people are versed within. But think about it. It used to be called life. People always say the life. You know, life of a hustler, life of a gambler, life of a robber, life. It just kind of now took the turn of game. But see, now it's like the game part done muddied it down because a lot of people, oh, I got game. Well, if I could put this one female on you and she can get you for everything that I want to get up out of you, you're not too versed in it because I'm the one that sucker on you. I'm the one that put her up on you and saying everything to you. But you thought I was just a regular everyday Joe. Oh, he don't know. Okay, I want you to think like that. Just like I don't know if any of y'all remember listen to the playlist of Hustling when he was on here because he, like I said, he's a real hustler. He really be moving in the streets. But when he was on here and took the time to say certain things, you know, he's like, you know what? I like looking like a regular everyday Joe, bummish and shit like that, and you know, driving my buckets around and shit when I got real choice vehicles parked up somewhere. Cause that means people ain't looking at me. I can move in silence because they're looking at the motherfucker that's jeweled the fuck up and all that shit and ready to take him down because they're thinking a certain way when they're looking at me like, oh, this bum motherfucker. But nah, it ain't none of that. Versus the rest of these motherfuckers. But I ain't on Front Street. But Hollywood got motherfuckers thinking, oh, this is the way to be. You ain't nothing if you ain't that. Just think of all the people that was doing like that, watching certain videos or certain movies, and got themselves caught up in some shit and doing hella time. I bet you'll talk to any of them. Like, man, I wish I didn't do any of that. I wish I was kind of low key with mine. It's partners I got out there that was low key and they still out there, and people don't even know who the fuck they is. Matter of fact, think about it like this: we ain't talking about the legal side, but I know, you know, when people think of, oh, this person got this many properties and all this, you think, oh, he wears a business suit every time, every day, and he's jumping out of Rolls Royces. No, matter of fact, my partner that lives in the hood, and he's Caucasian, he's a white brother. He lives right across the street from an old man. When I would come over and see him, like, man, that dude look kind of bummy and shit. Kind of got a dirty ass shirt on, driving this kind of maybe a 2 or 3 year old Camry or something like this, and lives in like a house that you would think is just a regular ass house in the hood or something like that, no duplex. He said, man, you know what? I had a conversation with him, and he got like about 50 properties around, you know, our area, and he lives in that one. So he's well over in a millionaire, but he doesn't look the part of it. And that's the whole thing. You know, they sell us on, oh, you need to have Gucci this and Fendi that and Chanel this and Dolce and Gabbana that, and breaking yourself to these people that's selling all this expensive apparel when you could be the regular everyday Joe. You still have all the knowledge and intelligence. You can still have a fat ass bank account. You can still have a fucking big ass safe in one of your properties and still be living good and feeding your family and doing all of that. But people think, oh no, I gotta have all this jewelry and all that shit. Fuck all that. Yeah, you can have all that, but I'd rather be low key and not facing no fucking issue. Unless you into facing issues and shit, you into, okay, now I gotta get this lawyer. Now I gotta figure out how I'm shell game my properties, whose names can it goes into, and all this kind of stuff, because you know you're trying to do extra, you're trying to put on a performance for people that really ain't got shit to do with your life. It's like you're high siding on people. Why you want to do any of that? Just feed you and yours, and you know the people that really rock with you, and that be that. But you know, I guess some people like pushing the line. Now let me see. You say I'm like that moving in silence. Most definitely, Cadillac J. Just every time you done said that, you say I like moving in silence. I mean, like you got a clean ass Cadillac. I mean, yeah, you could have what is it? I won't even say because we ain't on really spokes no more. You could have some whatever the most latest big rims on your Cadillac. You have full nose on it. You could have a full rag on it. You could have Gucci interior. You can do all that extra, but why? Why? I mean, you're still gonna catch the same action with it dressed up fully that you'll catch up when it's low key. So, if anything, like I said, you're catching the attention of motherfucking robbers. People forget about that's part of the game, part of life too. Is people that, you know what, I'm just robbing motherfuckers, and I see him as a mark. I'll be able to put the piece of steel to his ribs and take everything he got. And how they moving in today's time, you're like, you know what? Even though I done took everything he got, I think I might even take his life too. No, I don't want to be moving in those circles like that. I just want to be, like you said, low key, blending in, being a cool motherfucker. Now let me see. The game done changed. It's basically dead now. Yeah, you can't just get in and blow up. It's dead in my opinion, most definitely. He said I wouldn't say it's dead. Just got to be low with it. Yeah, yeah. But you got to accept that it's not what it used to be. See, a lot of people think, "Oh, it's still the same." No, it's not. Do some research. Why do you think they renewed the Patriot Act? A lot of people think, "Oh, that applies to 9/11 and that's it." No, that means they can fucking uh, uh, dive into your dealings and think about it. Your dealings show up on your phone and they monitor your phone. So, you're going on all these different social networks talking to whoever about whatever. They see that. They once it's like, okay, now we got the light on this person. They're making moves like this. We'll watch them. Think about it like this. A lot of people don't think about this. I want you to think about it like this so you'll understand where I'm talking about, where Choice is saying, what Cadillac J. Just is saying. Think of the simple movie as Goodfellas, and I don't use Goodfellas for another particular way of interpreting another issue, but I'm gonna use it for this one. When Joe Pesci was in the bar back in 1970 within the movies time, and the dude was like, "Yeah, go get your shine box," and essentially, dude was a made man. Joe Pesci wasn't. Joe Pesci beat the brakes and killed dude. You know, life went on. Everybody asked about the dude, and it went on. It got to 1980. Oh, I'm about to be made. I'm about to get all these accolades. And when it came time for him to be made, he was killed. He was took out the game. So essentially, that's like that. The correlation I'm trying to make to that is like, okay, now we're watching him. Just like now he done killed this person. Now we're watching you. We'll watch you for so many years, and you build up to be whatever. Okay, now it's time to take you out. Take you out mean you getting incarcerated or whatever. Now you're gonna be away from your family for who knows how many years. We done it done been 10 years that done passed. We done wrote so many new laws and enacted so many new laws that you ain't never gonna touch down till maybe your great grandkids come out or something. If you're able to even come out then. How do you deal with that? How do you? We all know someone behind the wall that ain't coming home. We all know someone behind the wall where, their parents and loved ones don't pass away. They can even go to funerals and things like that. But they still got this media machine, gassing people up that everything is just the same as it always been. No, it's shit that's moving way different that people don't see. But if you don't look at it in those particular terms, matter of fact, go watch that movie. Watch it and watch it for that aspect. Like, okay, I'm getting to live life for 10 years. Is that long enough? Is balling for 10 years long enough? I don't even see that as long enough. Fuck that. I want to forever long without no due date of what all these other years. You ball for 10 years, but now you about to do because just because you go behind the wall and oh my life's over. No, life be continuing. You be in there 40 years, so you say you did you ball for 10 years. Now you're doing 40 years. It made that 10 years didn't look like shit, like it was a fucking dream. By the time, if you were able to touch back down again, that was a dream. That's war stories if you are able to get back out. So you really got to think about it. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? The way they're rewriting these laws, is it really worth it? Or is it better to live low key and out the way, essentially? Let me see. It says different though, Cadillac. I'm never throwing salt on the game either. Believe that, but I'm not supporting the state of it now. That's what I mean. Is mostly renegades and fuckery, not what it was meant to be. Most definitely, I can agree with that assessment. And like I said, not just because a lot of people say when we say the game, oh, you just talking about pimping and hoeing. No, it's all the other games too, because it ain't just pimping and hoeing. It's all the other games too. You know, robbers is robbing in different ways. People that used to boost and all those other different games and that come with the underworld are moving in different fashions now too. It ain't just this one particular one. You gotta look at all of them. Well, think about it like this. I think a lot of the older people that you used to can go to. Think about it like this. In the 80s, crack knocked out a lot of thorough motherfuckers. So with that being said, a lot of people didn't look at elders as anything because it's like, man, you going off dope. Why should I listen to you? You fucked your whole life off. So with that being said, it's like a lot of the knowledge of, you know, an older person having wisdom is like a fire done came down and burned down the whole library. So you don't got the necessary information to actually move forward because all this stuff, this wisdom has been wiped out. Even I won't even say with dope. It could be even some of this food that they're giving us. We done had family members have badass strokes, high ass unchecked blood pressure, and things like that. All these things are factors. You know, prescription drugs that a family member done took and done fucked them up and took them out. You know, we done had all these type of things. Those are factors, not just this topical. Oh, she needs this or they need that. No, it's about information. It's about who's really willing to convey this information that you need, that don't want to see you hurt, because some people can feed you some shit that actually, you know, put you in a position that is unfavorable for you. You got to look at it like that. Yeah, I mean, I done seen it many times before. You know, a lot of people think, oh no, I ain't no trick, but no, this person that you're listening to is tricking you to get what they can get out of you. And then most of them people, once they done been done like that, they don't even want to talk about the life shit no more. You know what? I've been burnt bad enough, done been fucked out my money bad enough. I don't even want to think about the life like that because I've been fucked out or whatever. I done seen that too. Or you done have people going behind a wall, like in the streets they're a hellraiser. But once they get behind a wall and certain shit happen, when they actually do touchdown, they don't even want to participate in whatever type of life they was doing because it's like, man, they put me in a position that I done went through some situations now. I don't even want to talk about any of that type of shit, you know. So you got to look at it as not just, you know, a microcosm of this and that and having these words to say and all this. No, yeah, it's always gonna be a female that likes someone. It's always gonna be a brother that like a female. It's just what level are you gonna take it to? What type of person is this? What are you gravitating to? You know, what really works for you? It's too much. Oh, this person's gonna think this. Well, what if you team up with a female that's a surgeon? Yeah, that ain't pimping, but she got a good ass job and she's making sure that, you know, you taking care of whatever you want. Oh, baby, you want this car? I'll go grab it for you. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get a business and get something. I mean, I know I'm a surgeon, but let's do this. You like um say you like custom detailing cars or something like that. Let's get a custom detail shop. Hold on a second. Choice.
What's happening?
What's going on with you?
I can't call it, man. Slow motion.
Huh.
Slow motion be no motion, no.
Right. So what say you? What you got to add to the conversation?
Well, I thought it was what's going on, so I figured I'd call in. Then it was a lot of conversation about certain things. One thing typing, I figured I'd call in.
Right.
So it wouldn't get misconstrued.
True. So let me read this last comment. Cadillac J just said, "There's always a chick that needs guidance. Most definitely. It's just which way you're gonna guide her. What type of person are you? You know, what type of person are you? What type of female are you dealing with? You know, that is the
I
question."
say to Robert, he said, the renegade need a real key. There ain't a whole lot of real keys left.
That's true.
Most people don't understand that. Keys is already rare. When it comes to that, it wasn't just everybody. You know what I mean? It was something that's born in you. And then you just take what's already there and you manifest it at that time to benefit you in that era of life. If that's what you chose to do.
Right.
Now, to do that now, you gotta master something way different than what most people consider a key. They don't know nothing about it. They just seen it on TV or, like you said, it ain't never real key.
Right.
Because it looks luxurious and this, that, and the other. But it's a whole career of criminality. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gotta master that now. You
Right.
gotta be even colder at it now than you was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So I don't wish that upon nobody because you put way more effort into whatever little money you get for the risk you take.
Right.
And if you a melanated brother, you taking a whole lot of risk doing anything.
Right.
So that's where I speak from. And I've been there, done that, seen that. You feel me? So I'm talking for real experience for anybody that don't know.
Right. I just look at like I said, it's so many variables. Like, okay, you just think, oh, I'm this can't be too hard. I'll just get some slaps on the wrist. Well, are you able to deal with what they're gonna give you? Because depending on how you're moving, you can be a registered sex offender for life. That means they check on you all the time. Like the thing about probation, you're on probation, you're on that for so long. No, this is for life. That means they can throw you back in the pen anytime they see fit if you're kind of violating. Oh, you're too close to a school. We could throw you back in the clink for that. Oh, you're traveling out of town, but you're moving and staying at some place and you're not reporting where you're staying. We can throw you back in the clink for that. So, I mean, with all these new laws that they have enacted and are enacting more, are you prepared for that? I don't think, little young brothers is prepared for that kind of walk.
I mean, anybody that's young, I think they just need to look up the latest cases. You know what I'm saying? Look up the latest cases around the nation, and they really not. You know what I mean? It's been a long time. It's very rare to see somebody get 100, 200 years. You know what I'm saying? It's football numbers now. Anything involved with a melanated person and tampering, interstate trafficking, living off the mean, you know what I'm saying? These are serious charges. Like I said in the chat, you better off just hustling or figuring out what you want to do with your life because you can make $10 million. And you divide that $10 million up by them 300 years, it ain't going to be enough, man.
Right.
It ain't going to be enough. That's all a young cat got to think about. And I like I said, I've been there and done it. It ain't too many things I ain't seen, too many things on no. But everything I did, like my guy told me, like if you listen to my video, when I was out here, I knew what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? When you jump off the porch, you're supposed to know what comes with it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It don't make sense to jump off the porch and not be ready to lay down and do 200 or 150 or 90. That just don't make no sense. That's your whole life. You ain't never getting out.
Right.
Them like Uber numbers.
Mm-hmm. And then they get up
They
and
gave that man almost 300 years.
they get up there and listen to them people like, oh, you know what? You can just pull out the ET finger and you can get out for all this. No, see, then you're creating something else. Then you get out, yeah, you back out on the street, but then someone comes up mysteriously murdered. You know why? Because you dry snitched on somebody else and put someone else in a position that they shouldn't have been in because you couldn't hold your water. You know, but a lot of people don't look at it like that. They just think, oh, I can just do this, and it's respected. They put all this kind of stuff in the media sphere. Like, look, rainbow head kid pointed the finger at all these people. We might be getting out, and that's acceptable. No, it's not. It's never been acceptable. But they're trying to paint it to the masses so it'll be like that and be more murders out in the street because some people ain't going for that kind of stuff.
And then another thing, a lot of people program, man. You know, like if you don't know about something, you just see something, it look good. But like the grass ain't always green on the other side. You know what I'm saying? Everything should just be a facade. You know, a lot of people don't know what comes with it. You know, it ain't all this cracked up to be, man.
Right.
You feel me? Like, it's problems that, like when you just a regular person, it's totally different than the problems that the P got. And people don't understand the P problems. You know what I'm saying? He got a whole different list of problems. Like, let's just say that's really what you want to do. You aligning your life with somebody, right? And y'all commit criminal activity. And the way it was set up, y'all had to have trust. Y'all had to have a bond. Y'all had to agree that this what y'all was going to do. Right?
Right.
Nowadays, people are so deceitful, and it ain't even no solid people no more. Solid people is like everybody thirsty for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't imagine what a cat going through right now when a chick, like, she get knocked and they try to press her, and she like, let's just say you a young nigga, 24 or something, and she like 19, she grown, right, whatever. But she ain't never been in legal trouble, you know what I mean? She the prettiest thing on earth, you know what I'm saying? Y'all get it, y'all go for it. And they started pressing her, talking about, we finna give you 10, 15 years. And all she gotta do is be like, well, he told me this, and I did this, and whatever, and this where he stayed. And then they gonna give you 120 years. And they gonna be like, look, we gonna give you 2, 1 in, 1 out. She gone, baby. She gone.
Right.
And it's not too many chicks that's solid, like they need to be in the game. That's why they all renegade.
Mm-hmm.
See, but you know, it might look good. You know what I'm saying? It might look good. I advise any man with a head on his shoulders not putting himself in a position with anybody else that he can't control.
Right.
Because this is when they get you down there and you in that clean. I don't care what nobody say. And my jacket long, Joe. I don't care what nobody say. It's serious when they get you down there. Even when your paper right. Because if they want you, they want you.
Right.
That's what a lot of people don't understand about the life or the game. When they want you, they want you. They getting paid to get you. If you rank up there and you know, man, once they want you, it's a wrap. Unless you leave the country. 9 times out of 10, you don't even know you want it. You still doing the same thing you've been doing for the last 2 years. Just now you finally came up and you popped it. Now you indicted. Because they wanted you.
Mm-hmm.
And you weren't smart enough to see it before it came. See, the game wasn't about being in it forever. And especially now. That's why you gotta lay low. But sometimes you can't lay low.
Right.
Because you can't be in the house. You gotta be out and about.
Right.
So it's all messed up now, Joe.
Right.
Even the people that the potential people that could be in it ain't even worth being in it. You know, there's renegades out here that's really just putting themselves in the way. You know, and that's to my ladies out there. You know what I mean? Like if you just out here and you think you can do whatever you want to do to each and every body, one of these days, one of them tricks gonna snap, and then you gonna be dead. Because you thought it was a game.
Right.
And ain't none of your girlfriends gonna be there to protect you. That old chick dude that you thought was, the best of the world with the dildo ain't gonna be there. It's gonna be a wrap. Because you played with the wrong cat, or you got the wrong trick, because you got your game from another chick. But it is what it is. I wish everybody the best. I'm talking about what I'm talking about.
Right. But it can resonate with somebody. I mean, that's why I like having these conversations, because it's like we get people coming on here. Oh no, it just need this. No, you're talking about topical shit. You're talking about shit that is on TV. No, it goes more deeper than that. I mean, verse yourself. If you really want to be about whatever you're trying to be about, verse yourself with people that are familiar with that. Really, not over the internet. Actual people that you know personally that could link you with people. If that's what you want to do. Now, like I said, for far as like construction, let's talk on a legal tip. If you want to know about some construction, you got an uncle that got someone that works within the trades. You holler at him and see where, can point you in a direction to become more versed in whatever you're trying to learn about that. You got to do that. It ain't about, okay, I just watched some videos and now I'm ready to go do it. No, it don't work like that. You still there, Choice?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I'm people with Cadillac there. No, I'm 200 Cadillac, so I speak on what I know about. I'm never taking nothing away from the game. Ever. But for people that don't really know nothing about it, you ain't gonna get the game from no YouTube video. You ain't gonna get the game from no book, and you ain't gonna survive in the game if it ain't in you. It's meant for you. You gonna get out there and get in the way and get hung. That's what's gonna happen to you. Period. So I'm never, throwing salt on it, but I'm not promoting it in the state that it's in right now, because the state that just changed. The laws that changed. The women that changed. And that's really the most important part of the game.
Right.
That's the most important part of the game. They didn't change. If you ain't got them, you ain't gonna be able to do no work for no salt. You just gonna get out there and be in the way. You're gonna be the next nigga in the paper.
Right. Basically.
I was trying to tell you, for whoever was there asking all them questions, like,
just think about it like this.
You better off finding you a female needs some guidance and guiding her to some real money.
Right.
That's what you better off doing.
Go to school. Go. You got these many semesters to do. Knock all that out. She on your side. That ain't, like I said, it ain't never gonna stop a female liking a man. But knowing that, you can direct them in a different way where you still be able to get all the revenue and live real lavish like you want to live. It may not be in this fairy tale fashion that they try to paint, but you'll still be surviving. You won't be facing, well, I won't say you won't face life. You're gonna face some issues, but you won't face certain devastating issues that'll knock you out the game for, decades and shit like that.
You ain't got to worry 9 times out of 10 unless you live in like the worst neighborhood in the world. You ain't got to worry about your girl coming home. When you walk through the door and leave, you ain't got to worry about her coming home.
Right.
That's something you got to worry about every day.
Right.
Every time. You got you got some toes, you got to worry about each and every one of them. Like people don't understand. Like I said, most people don't want them type of problems, man. Most people don't. It ain't no joke, man. It's serious. It's serious. Like, most people don't want them type of problems, man. And just depending on how things go, it's just all type of problems come with it. You know what I mean? You can lose your life. You can get stalkers. Like a chick can get beat up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just all kinds of stuff, man. And you got to deal with it. You got to be sitting there thinking about what I'm finna do. You do.
Right. But so a lot of people think, oh, I can just bounce back, and no, it ain't like that. It's a real live mental game. Are you really mental and actions you got to take? Are you willing to take these actions? It's about action, not like about talk. Like, oh, yeah, well, they said this on here. I can talk my way out of it. No, there's certain things you may have to put into play. That are you really prepared for that? That people ain't saying. You getting the, like I said, a lot of people paying attention to all the glamour part, but omitting all the other shit that like damn, that's real. I don't know if I could deal with that. Well, I'll just admit that part, and once if I come around to it, I'll deal with it then. Well, most motherfuckers fold under pressure when it comes to certain shit like that. And you just went over that. Like, okay, they get you down at the station. They get to talking to her about, what, you facing hundreds of years, but you know what? If you roll over like Rover on him, we can let you go. And you be on the hook for however long. And ain't no coming back from that. What are you gonna do? Give up all? Then you're giving up all, selling all your pieces and all that, still to go to prison. So all the stuff that you work so hard for out in the streets doing whatever, all that shit's gone. And you're doing time. Because you didn't go about it the right way. In a real way.
And what about the little dude who finally just goes online trying to chop it up and figure out his direction? You know what I'm saying? Who lost all his cars, all his money, barely could pay for his lawyer, and was facing what, like 20 years or something?
I think so.
It might have been more than that. But you need to listen back to that call, because he sounds seriously stressed to me.
Oh, yeah.
It went through like 13 attorneys?
Yeah.
Go through 13 attorneys. Hold on, man. That's a big number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I forgot. I ain't heard back from that brother about that. I remember. Now you done jog my memory on that. Yeah, he was speaking on that.
Yeah, his partner was going through some serious stuff. Supposedly about something he didn't even do.
Right. But
how apartment building, this, that, and the other, they gonna take all that.
Right.
They gonna take all that, man.
And it's gonna be like he never had any of that shit.
Jury. Huh?
I said it's gonna be like he never had any of that shit afterwards. Like, oh, you had an apartment at one time? We can't tell now. You fucked up now.
You remember? Okay, and there's something else they might not know about. You remember a while back, a few years back, when the two brothers killed each other in Vegas on the Strip?
I heard something about that. I'm not real versed in it, but refresh my memory. Keep going.
One cat, they had beef for whatever reason. Probably some petty.
Right.
Might have been over a chick.
Right.
Who knows? They both supposed to be about the life. One cat shot the other cat. That cat died. The other cat, rolling down Vegas, crashed his car, trying to get away from the shootout, and he died. So
okay, yeah, now I remember. Yeah.
Young, they was young as hell, and both of them dead.
Mm-hmm. And
but it really started off at each other.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And that's something else you gotta live with in the life. You know, like there's so many issues you gotta live with, because he might not have wanted to shoot him, but he ended up shooting him.
Right.
And now you trying to get away. You speeding down the strip.
Mm-hmm.
In a Maserati.
Right.
You got everything you wanted right now, but then that issue came, and you dealt with it how you dealt with it.
Right.
And then it was started out to be a non-contact sport.
Mm-hmm.
But see, that didn't all change.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That didn't all change. Like that's why I say it's dead, Cadillac, because it ain't what it used to be. That's what I mean when I say it's dead, in my opinion. Because I didn't know about playing the non-contact sport. You know, serving and knocking and hey, whatever come with it. Man, cats ain't even about that no more.
Right.
And you know, it's a rare few. It's a rare few, you know, and staying low is hard when you out 365, 22 hours out the day. You know, and when you got it, you're gonna probably shine like new money. That's just part of what it is.
Right.
And it's kind of hard to stay low with that thing.
Right, and like I said, with addict technology, you in and out of it. If you either out on the East Coast or somewhere out in Vegas, you in and out these casinos with facial recognition, you're being seen with certain people that's known to be getting accosted all the time. They're like, okay, 2 and 2, okay, she done caught this many cases, but she keeps showing up with this particular person on these cameras. We're linking these two together and things like that. I mean, the technology is so advanced where it's helping building a case without you even knowing it, because you like you say, you got to be out in the traffic steadily, constantly networking and trying to be with people. So these people are seeing you in certain spots and things like that. This is a known spot for whatever. This is a known spot for wherever. We done stop him this many occasions, and he was with this person or whatnot. But people ain't looking at it like that. Like, these people don't know what's going on. No, they know. They know. They watch through these social medias when you sending DMs and think nobody else see them motherfuckers. NSA see all that shit.
It's a little thing out here most people that don't know a whole lot. It's called guilty by association.
Exactly.
And that's real talk. And it holds up in court when it comes to guilt and time. Like, it just holds up. Like, oh, so so-and-so called this time, and so-and-so, your number was in so-and-so phone, and so-and-so got prostitute time, and we seen you in so-and-so place in the airport, y'all were here. That's interstate trafficking. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, don't put no money laundering on it. Don't put no living off the means. Don't put no pimping and pandering on it. Don't put no forcing somebody to do something against their will on it. It's a wrap.
Right.
It can be your first case. It's a wrap, though.
Then you hear other people, well, send them ahead, or you be in a different rental car and all that. If you still got fucking text communication between them, they're building the bridge right fucking there. You don't even have to be in the same car or on the same flight or whatever. As long as you got that text back and forth, or social media post back and forth that y'all conversating, they can point to that. That's holding up too. But a lot of people don't look at that.
They think it's sweet, man. You feel me? They think it's sweet. You gotta be one of the coldest of the cold, man. And if that's what you want to be, and you dedicate yourself to it, and you with the shit, then hey, I wish you the best.
Right.
But if you think it's a game just because it's so quote unquote called a game, turn around and run as fast as you can, man. A lot of people ain't cut for it. Like I put it to you like this: if you get caught in life right now, and you done made a name, and you done got a bag, you'd be better off stacking up your bread, getting back in the D game. And if you don't know what it feel like to drive around with no weight, and pick up, and let's say you got to go to another state or a few states, so for that price you need. If you don't know what it feel like to take that whole trip, and you ain't cool with it, knowing what you gonna get, which is gonna be something small, or not nowadays. You know what I mean? Especially if you don't trick. First time, it's gonna be something small. Small, 5, 10 years. If you don't know that feeling like when one of them boys get behind you, and you don't know what you gonna do if them lights come on, if you don't know if you wanna hit it, or you gonna pull over, you don't know how that feel, and you ain't comfortable with that, you don't want no parts of the P game, man. No parts. No parts. My guy, my real life guy, just got out. You know what I'm talking about? My guy, I've been out here. I've seen a lot, right?
Yeah.
He just got out from doing the 10P. And we the same age. Like I said, I come from the rare breed. wasn't no snitching back where I come from.
Right.
So whatever that man did, he went and laid down like a man, and he just got out from doing 10 feet. So he been gone since he was 27. But if you don't know that feeling that I'm describing, then I suggest you stay away from it.
Right.
I would. That's just me though.
Honestly, because a lot of people, I can do it. That's what your mouth's saying. But once you, like you said, when you paint the picture and it's actually like that, what would you do? The lights come on. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna be talking nervous? And what are you gonna do? You gotta know yourself to be like, you know what? I honestly say I can't even put myself in that position. But a lot of motherfuckers in this day and age want to lie to this, so I could do it all. I could do it. No, everybody got their breaking points. You got to know your own. Kind of like Jay just said, I feel you. So, and like I said, it ain't just kind of like Jay just in the comments. I see Lisa Smith said Choice is dropping some knowledge. I have to agree with that. Whoever else is out there, like I said, the hotline's there. Scroll through the chat, you'll see it. You know, if you got anything else to say, if you agree with what Choice been saying so far, hey, say something to that. You know, if you just got in here, hey, like the particular live stream, you know, it kind of went in a different direction because I was just trying to say something. You know, I got to talking about whatever people got to asking me. You know, Choice that's often regular in the lives. You know, he came in here and contributed what he had to contribute from his walks of life. So I appreciate y'all for actually taking the time out your day night to listen to this particular live stream or the replay too.
I didn't even get the notification this time for some reason. But at any rate, no, the topic, there was a lot of folks' voice and stuff in the comments.
Yeah.
And then, I'm trying to talk to Cadillac, and I didn't want nothing to get misconstrued. You feel me?
Right.
I don't want nobody that don't know me to think I'm not me and I'm just talking out the side of my neck and nothing like that, Jack. You feel me? So I'm like, hey, I'm going to call the voice in so I can speak clearly on what I know about and what I'm thinking about and where I'm coming from.
Right.
Instead of trying to do all that typing. That's all.
That's true.
I don't even know what the topic was.
No, it really wasn't no topic. We just, you know how it be when people start throwing up stuff in the chat. It's just responding to, whatever that may be,
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, okay. Right on.
But I look at it like this. If y'all want some more of what you just heard, from who you just heard it from, Choice, the channel of Choice, hey, hit his icon. Go straight to his page. I don't care if you go up out this live. Go to it, hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button on Cadillac J Just as well. Go out of here, go subscribe to his channel as well. When Cadillac comes in, he has just some knowledge to impart just as well like Choice does. So I mean, them is two brothers that you could go and subscribe to their channels and get all the necessary intelligence that you want.
Indeed, I appreciate that.
Because I look at it like this. I'm far from a hater, ever. Far from a hater. I want people to grow, but I don't want nobody to, I'll say this. I started this off from, Cadillac said, what happened last night? And I just kind of, cleared up, the things that went down. And, some people didn't live up to what they said they were going to do. And I had to express what I had to express when people were trying to, fucking lie on my name. So, and that's essentially how it started off. I don't know where you came in at, Choice, but that's where I kind of, was speaking on before you had came in.
No, I ain't come in, but last night, it was just kind of wild, and I was like, what the hell, like, what? Okay, I'm gonna say this. Somebody said something about taking the video down, and I don't know. Then I was just like, I was kind of lost.
Yeah, Ray Shah said that
And
said you ain't take the video down, and that's when they felt some kind of way once Shah said someone messaged and said that why ain't take the video down? The other person did, but he didn't.
so, so my question was, where I was confused at, who were the two people that had the videos up? One person took it down, one person did.
Right.
So, is we talking about, like, who are we talking about? I was just confused. I was confused. And at that point, I was like, okay.
You knew that was me that came in last night on the line, didn't you?
So, you had a video up about street TV?
No. That last audio, the one between him and Hog, that audio. Yeah. That last video, so you didn't take that down. I'm like, that video is clearing up that you didn't have no issue with that person. So
okay. All right. Now I understand.
Right.
Cadillac crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I see it. I was listening when y'all was conversating in between them. Matter of fact, I seen when Dre Chili was saying his things in there. It just like I said, when that came about, it did for a little temporary minute. It went a different direction. I don't like to have to get like that, but.
Pick up the Dre Chili, man. That was my guy too, man.
Yeah, you see what
check his channel out.
Yeah, most definitely. You see what Lisa Smith said?
Yep. I knew that was coming.
Man, y'all was wild. Y'all be going back and forth like a motherfucker.
Oh man, Risa said she ain't going for no Wayne, Captain. She ain't going for no Wayne. He said you don't have to come grab some barbecue, make it do what it do. That's how she roll. He said she ain't doing no Wayne stop. But that's Miss Smith. Miss Smith take it or leave it. She ain't gonna cut no deal. And she ain't gonna play no game.
Hustling ass Lisa Smith.
And she got a quick temper too.
Yeah. Yeah, because I see at the tail end she had to lay clear she had to lay clear at the end of that particular live. I caught that little part too after I got off the line.
Hey, you said it. I ain't say it. I'm just saying what I heard. You say you ain't doing no Wingstop.
Damn. Shit, I just had some wings this weekend. I don't know what she talking about. I like me some wings. As long as you getting them from the right spot, they are AG to me.
Hey, yeah, well, you got their flavor, right?
That's true.
Lisa Smith must be good. She can call in too. Because we was having a little dialogue. I heard a good dialogue with Lisa Smith last night. The way I wanted to. She was trying to play devil's advocate. I'm like, you don't never play devil's advocate. What the heck going on? That must just be her shy get on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's what, like I said, I mean, I guess, she made it clear. She's like, that ain't my business, so I ain't going to get in it. And I can understand people coming from the aspect. They don't want to inject themselves in something that they may not know about. And that makes sense because, if you don't know about a situation, why are you going to put yourself in it?
No, not even on that aspect. It was just like that on the poly thing. And you know what I mean? Lisa Smith, she convicted in her feelings too. So if she gonna say something, it's just how she feel. Like last night, she was like, well, and I'm like, what's going on? Like it was a little different. But that's just that might just be her on the takeover or something. No, that okay, I'll say it like this. if somebody be like, oh, I don't like hustling ass women, I can see Lisa Smith saying, okay, hold on, wait, motherfucker, why? You know, like, she was, you know, it was just like she was playing devil advocate. She was playing both sides of every little discussion, you know.
Yeah, but
That's what I got.
you figure like this, you know, you may need that sometimes. Like, think about it like this, like when Dez came in and she was kind of heavy-handing it with KK. Now, she didn't really have to do KK like that, but you know, she felt the way she felt, and that's how she came at her. You know, now we know KK, she's not really. I don't see her really japping and going off on nobody. She just rather be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go off if I feel it's getting too out of hand or something like that. Now Lisa Smith, she'd be like, you know what, I'm gonna tell you this, and then I'm gonna go off. You know, so you know, people are different. You know, they handle shit different. But yeah, I do the devil's advocate every now and again. But if I do feel strongly enough, I will say, no, hold up. No, I don't believe that. I understand that. Just like you do as well, Choice. It's like, you know what? You done said this. Fuck that. We don't play for them sides. I don't want to hear that kind of shit. You know?
Like I did with dudes talking about police shit.
Yeah, you're right. Right.
I ain't even meaning to. It just, you know, that's who I am, though. You know what I mean? I'm cool as a fan until something trigger me, man. Like, you know, somebody come with some buck shit, like, I ain't the one, you know? I ain't the one, I'm with the shit, you know? I've been with the shit for a long time, so it, you know, even though I'm getting older now and I'm trying to be cool, and it was like, I could have just hung up.
Right.
Otherwise, that's just where I go with it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm sort of furious, sort of took my damn self.
Right, it's because it's like we done seen too many things in the street to be like, oh, like that's some cool ass shit. Fuck, that ain't cool. I'm gonna speak on it, and that's what you did. So I mean, I can't fault you for that. You know, when you feel passionate enough about something, that's when you speak from your heart. You kick that shit from your heart. That's how I felt I was doing last night. No, you ain't gonna dirty my name. You ain't gonna tell all my people that rock with me that I'm on some bullshit. You got me fucked up with that, and I'm letting you know that. Any comments, Choice?
I'm trying to catch up. It's okay for me and why I can't, because it's just a double standard, Miss Lisa Smith. That's just, and women do it. But I was saying, like, ain't no cats like me, and probably not a lot of cats on this channel will be even going for it. So it's not gonna get a lot of support. That's why I said only suckers gonna go for that. Because personally, for me, like I said, if I'm the Friday and Saturday nigga, let me know that, because I'm gonna treat you accordingly. Because I don't even like to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm messing with somebody else's property, I'm going to do what I got to do and get on out the way. You know, because I know how I feel if somebody's messing with my property. You feel me? Or my significant other, however you want to look at it, whatever. You know, that's how I look at it.
Right.
No, I ain't going to play with you. I ain't making no deals. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, if you that unhappy and you want another nigga, go be with that nigga. You know what I mean? That ain't for me.
Now let me read these other comments. Cal like Jay just said, chicks like KK like to hear don't like to hear the truth. They like to play. And then Lisa Smith said, Cadillac KK is young. That's why. And then Cadillac said, I know chicks her age and that's all the way about business. That's all the way about business. And then Lisa Smith said she agreed with what you were saying, Choice.
And you know, I gotta agree with Cadillac too. I know plenty of chicks that's all the way about their business, and they don't got no respect for the game either. From what I know, I'll just say that. But I know a lot of young chicks that's about their dodo, and I call them renegade. That's just me though.
Right.
You know, that's what I'm saying. It ain't really no, for folks that don't know, man, in order to be something in the game, you gotta have solid chicks. And these chicks ain't even solid. You know, what you gonna do with that? Who got time to sit around and go through 100 chicks trying to find that one?
Huh.
It's hard enough to do that in real life. Don't add no criminality to it.
Right. Oh, I should manage KK. How you know I don't? I'll say it like that. You never know. It'd be a never knowing situation. It'd be a never knowing situation. But nah. Let me stop playing like that. But anyway, you never know though. I'll just say it like that.
Well, I hate that she's not a daughter of business. I mean, because she got a gig and she's trying to do her little thing or whatever.
Right.
I just think she don't look at it like that. She was in that little long relationship and she went through some things and I mean she feel how she feel.
Right.
It take a lot for a chick to really get out here and put them 10 toes down, man. See, this is the new age. Everybody want to be on the internet,
Mm-hmm.
gram, and all it is. Like, that's how much the game has changed. Like, only one aspect left is the club. That's the only one aspect that's left that ain't changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't pay $20 to Snapchat the club for an hour. Maybe that's something I should try and do. But yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, Troy. You don't want to say too many things out loud. People might want to steal your ideas. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying that's the only thing left that was kind of original from the only thing. Even if you ain't really want to get out there and get it, you can go, check a bag at the club. But a lot of cats now, there's even messing with bras like that, they make it deal.
Mm-hmm.
They boyfriend, girlfriend. Like that's what I mean, man. It doesn't change so much.
Right. But the thing is, if that's your bag, that's your bag. Why are you getting bothered by what another person think about your situation? If you living good off of that shit, hey, be it that you the gratified boyfriend that's getting a lot of nice trinkets. Why you getting mad? Shit.
Oh man.
Just don't call it something else and get them people in your business about some shit that it wasn't. Think about it. A lot of people get their issue about some shit that it wasn't.
That's a powerful word too. That's a powerful word. So powerful that cats don't really use the whole word. And a lot of cats, especially me, I try to say it without being said.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And then on top of it, I don't care, but it's just the way, it's out of respect for the game. You feel me?
Right. I don't know.
Well, the brother that was in here asking about it and swinging the conversation that way anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, some of them questions I was reading like, maybe you're just saying it to say it. I don't think you really believe it, but you just want to see what I think about it. Like they testing like, Reek don't know what the fuck he talking about. Yeah, I know. But I'm not gonna answer it in a way where it's seeming like, okay, let's get some criminality going on where some people could start catching cases for me answering a certain way. I'm gonna answer it the way I answer it. I don't want nobody to catch no case, including myself, by saying certain things.
It's like Buddy asked, why do XPs, and that ain't the word that he typed, don't show more positive business venture? Because it's impossible. Because you have to know how to make that money right. And if you're not smart enough to make it right, you're just going to put yourself in a bag. You're going to put yourself in a pickle.
Right.
All you can really do with it, if you ain't that smart, and you can't be that smart if you want to go out here and risk 200 years, 120. You can't be that smart. When you can do something else and risk like 10, 20. Or you can get your money up and open up a club for like 100, 200, like one of my guys did. And yeah, that's my nigga. I'm proud of that nigga. and get it just like that.
Right.
Get it just like that. That's one of the last pieces of it. So if he ain't a P, I don't know what is.
Right.
Can't nobody do nothing to him. He can't be touched. Oh man, I went and seen my dude. I went to this little all-white party. Went and seen my dude, man. And it was like that cat was a rapper or something, man. I was like, man, you got all of them. He was like, man, I don't want all of them, cuz you can have some. I was like, it was a beautiful thing, though, because I'm not a hater.
Right.
You feel me?
But you think about it, he's also providing something that the whole community can, hey, you know, I go there to kick it, you know. I go there, you know, I done had a hard day at work. I'm going and try to catch some. They see him as, man, he's providing something, a lifestyle that we need. Versus some people may look at other verses of life and like, I really hate these type of motherfuckers. So I'm going to do whatever I can to, you know, get rid of motherfuckers like that, you know. I mean, a lot of people think, oh, there, certain people in life is love. No, certain people aren't shown love like how it's portrayed in, like I said, Hollywood, and how they try to make it seem like, oh, you know, these people's really love. No, it's some people that really have some real, some deeply rooted fucking hate for people that's doing certain things, you know. But you know, they don't show that. They don't portray that. But like I said, your partner opening up a club and shit like that, that's hella good. You know, we need to hear more stories about that.
No, you know what type of club I'm talking about, though, right?
Hey,
or a strip club.
Hey, it's still needed. It's keeping the cycles from trying to rape somebody. You know, hopefully they can get their tension off of seeing someone strip butt naked and, you know, have some fun. Maybe they go back home and have some fun with their wife or their girlfriend, thinking about who they just seen in the strip club. So it's still providing a service. So I look at it like that. It's still needed.
Right, but it ain't just no other rinky-dink bar, though.
Right.
It's a whole nother level.
Right.
You feel me? And see, you know, I'm a real nigga, so like, this my guy he went from being a security guard and having a little money, you feel me, to being a man. And hey, I'm gonna congratulate him all the way.
Right.
You feel me? Like,
right.
that was a good night.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good night. I had to buy the nigga a drink and everything. I'm like, low key, I ain't saying it. Nigga, I'm proud of you, yo. You know, feel me? Proud of you. I'm proud of any one of my cats to get it out the mud and make it, man, and stay true to themselves. You know? Some cats get money, man. You used to know them. You come around, they act funny. Nah, man. You know? I only mess with solid niggas. You like, man, where you been at, man?
Right.
Whenever you want to come through, man, come through. Holler. You know? A lot of cats play funky, though, you know? A lot of cats try to play funky when they get their little club.
Right.
Never been that dude.
Usually ones that do that shit don't last that long. I done seen motherfuckers, they come up and they fall over, and once they fall over, then they want to, you know, talk to you. Oh, what's been going on? Oh, now you want to holler at me now that you done, you know, fell off and shit like that. No, keep that same energy that you had.
Man, I be saying, and I said, 2020, my New Year's resolution, man, for this year, man, is to cut off everybody that's toxic, man.
Most definitely.
You know, I'm cutting off everybody toxic. That's my New Year's resolution to myself, period.
Right.
You know, I ain't, you know, because, you know, and it's simply because I don't need the energy. You know, I feel like, you know, I done gave everybody enough time. And that's any and everybody.
Right.
You know, any and everybody. Either you support me, or you want me to blow, or you don't. Now, if you're in the don't category, I don't know if you that's me 50% of the way, 20% of the way, 10%. But I ain't doing no if. You know, I ain't doing no if. That's how I feel. You know, time is short. And from how you spoke about it, man, it's like I'm just doing everybody a favor, you know, because that way I ain't got nothing to be mad about.
Right.
You said it a different way, but you know what I mean. You know how you spoke on you just cut somebody off. Just, I'm done.
Right. I mean,
no explanation, no nothing, just
right. Like, it ain't no hate, ain't no malice or nothing, but I can't keep, being around that. It ain't good for me, and it definitely won't be good for you. So, I mean, hey, I wish you all the best, but you get to throwing lies and slander on my name on certain shit. Nah, I gotta clear that shit up if I see fit. Now, some of that shit, people always gonna talk, so you can't control what the fuck someone gonna say. But that'd be like someone coming in your house saying some old foul ass shit about you. You ain't having none of that kind of shit. It ain't gonna be none of that.
I wasn't really speaking on that. I'm talking about like folks in your circle that just like seem like they don't want the best for you. Like you can tell who really wants the best for you. You know what I'm saying? And then there's people that just seem like they want to be around or whatever. And I'm 100. So it's like I'm not no hard mug to be around. You know what I'm saying? Like when I show out, I show out. When I ain't got it. You know what I mean? Like I'm just real. I'm the same way all the time. But we can be eating McDonald's today, and then I can hit the lotto, and I'm taking everybody to Mickeyana.
Right.
I mean Benihana's. You know what I'm saying? Like it's nothing to me. It's all fiat currency. It ain't that important. And sometimes people take advantage of that. And even if, I ain't the type to have an altercation over something, I just act like, oh, no. You know what I'm saying? I just let it go. And I ain't doing that no more.
Right.
Like, that's my 2020. You feel me? If you borrow some money, you don't pay it back, I ain't gonna argue with you. You just getting blocked.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or if I ask you for something and you act funny, okay, you just getting blocked. Like, that's where I'm at now. Or if I call you and you don't call me back, and you don't call me back, you get blocked.
Right.
That's, it ain't personal. I just ain't got time, make room for somebody who won't call me back. Or make room for somebody who won't pay their debts. And just be silent, you know what I mean? I feel speaking on a lot of chicks, you know what I mean? I feel like a lot of chicks ain't solid. Like they sometimes they don't know what they want. It's just nah, man. I ain't got time no more. I ain't got time.
Yeah, but you said chicks, but there's a lot of brothers that's like that too. That ain't solid. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's definitely. It's so many brothers that ain't solid. Chicks don't even realize a solid nigga when they come across one.
Right.
Like you gotta tell it, you gotta prove it, you gotta tell it to him again, then you gotta prove it to him. Like you gotta go all up above and beyond. It's like, man, please. Like you can't no real dude go above and beyond for no friendship or no hanging out or no, like, it's just, it don't work like that. If like me, I'm the type, like I was trying to explain to Lisa, I'm not going to be no chick option. Either I'm your choice, that's why that's fuck my name, or I'm nothing. That I'm nothing. I'm not going to be no option. And if you got somebody, then I'm an option. You feel me? Like, I ain't gonna play myself like that.
Yeah.
Now you can move on and hit me and be like, hey, what's happening? But nah, I ain't with being no side piece, man. That ain't no real nigga shit. It's by choice, not force, man. I'm in the game to be chose. So that means I'm in life to be chose. So if you ain't choosing to fuck with me the wrong way, don't fuck with me at all.
Hmm. Yeah, that's some real honest shit. A lot of people, they choose to live their life the way they choose to live it. You're choosing to express how you choose to express it, and you gotta respect it because that's your wishes, that's your choices, that's your choices. You know.
For real, man. I done always been that way, though. You know, that's just, I done always been that way. Like when I mess with a chick, I'm trying to have her. I ain't really trying to play with her. You know, and that's even after everything, after the game, everything. I ain't trying to play with you. You might think I'm one of them dudes trying to play with you, but I'm not gonna call you 100 times. You don't want to kick it. Hey, I'm gonna move on.
Hmm.
I'm gonna move on. For real. Yeah, even if you got a man, I might, hey, we can talk whatever, but hey, when I hit you, hey, if I ain't gonna ask you what you doing more than like 2 times. If you always busy, that means you busy.
Right.
And then from here on out, next time you call me, block.
Hmm.
I ain't even talking to you no more. That's what I meant when I said I'm cutting a lot of people off. You know, like, because they be doing too much.
Okay. Wait. Hold on a second. Forever Young. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? What you mean by that? I want to know what you mean by that. What you mean by that? I mean, I know people throw up
He said
emojis.
we ain't turned. But he can call in, say whatever's on his mind, though.
Right. That's what turns it around. That's why I put the hotline number up there. You can call it and be like, you know what? I want to talk about this, and make it jump. You can do that. You got that option.
He going to sleep, but it's still 8 people in, though.
Hmm.
So obviously somebody listening. You feel me?
That's true.
And you know, the freestyles go any type of way.
Right.
That's one of the beautiful things. You know, freestyles go any type of way. You know, so you can get in the comments, speak on what you want to speak on, and somebody gonna touch it.
Right.
Like I said, I wonder where the other 2 cats went though, because they ain't said nothing for a long time. That's kind of
maybe because it didn't get the answers that they thought they was gonna get. You know, I answer in a certain way that I answer. You know.
I think Forever Young finna call in. Either that or he left. One or the other.
One or the other. Like I said, ain't no hate, but if you put up a emoji like that saying sleep, like, oh, I'm going to sleep. Well, either go to sleep or call in and make it that much more better, since you think you got something else to make it that much more lively.
Facts. So what you think about Mr. Chump pulling that little movie tool, man, and doing what he did and the reaction? What you think about that, man? We ain't gotta get all the way into it. I'm just wondering that.
I think about
different lines, but
how do all these other actions come about the same way? Let's think back to the first Mr. Bush when we went to the Iraq, and the Bush too when we went to Iraq and took down Saddam, and then we think about Obama that took out Bin Laden and Gaddafi. I mean, come on, all this shit is scripted.
I was chopping it up, right? And my guy was like, man, you're the president, you gotta catch their body. What you think? That's how you think too, huh?
I think that too, but then I also heard the person that they said that was supposedly killed. They said he was killed in something else, not so many years ago. So, are you just doing this to get people to think a certain way, or what? Just the same thing with Bin Laden.
You heard he was already dead?
Yeah, he was already dead. They just regurgitated his name up to say he just got killed now, when he's already dead.
Oh no, I have to look into that. I ain't heard nothing about that one. But
Oh yeah, I heard about that shit. Matter of fact, I gotta go through the. It's one of my social medias I've seen it through. I'm gonna have to go through it, and then you know how I do. I post a link and show you. Like, oh, what?
that's something to think about. I don't even know if I understand that, dude. That's kind of what would the purpose be?
Because they need a
Oh,
boogie.
just
They need a boogeyman. So if this is the top boogeyman, we're saying he's getting killed now, even though he got killed a long time ago. It's like people got a short-term memory. Just like think about like here when they be like, oh, say rest in peace to some celebrity that already died. A lot of people be saying that, but don't even be remembering when they actually died a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we can move the crowd with some bullshit essentially, and people won't even notice the shit. Cause you figure we ain't really versed in all whoever is the bad guy over in Iran and shit. We kind of concerned with shit that's going on here in America. So when they throw that shit up there, it's like, oh yeah, they just killed this person. Well, how do we know? We don't know that. It's the media outlets putting that shit out there saying that shit. But then as soon as someone comes with facts of, oh well, it shows this person died then, or well, then they want to stop talking about the shit. But now they got the ball rolling. Think about it like this: that Iran shit is about they don't got a central bank. You know, anybody that doesn't have a central bank, you notice that we got a problem with them. So they don't got a central bank.
I can understand that.
Right.
I can understand that.
They want to be able to pull their resources. They got a lot of oil over there in Iran. So that's what that shit's about. They want to be able to control the people and the resources.
Well, you know, money rule the world, man.
Right.
You know, so that makes sense to me. But I was just trying to see your take on it, because personally, I don't like Buddy doing shit. He constantly messing up my portfolio. I don't like that shit. He needs to move around with that. He be doing too much tweeting, and that shit messing with my money, man. I don't like that. For real. But ain't no other president ever did that. You know, you can kind of predict and know what's going on. He just...
Wait, ain't no other president did what? Ain't no other president did what?
Tweeted all the time.
To be honest, I could give a fuck about that tweet. You know why? Because think about it like this. People forget. Remember when Bush was in office? Remember how high gas was? That shit was fucking higher than what it is now. It was bad fucking then. It's just different levels of bad. I remember paying damn near $5 for fucking gas.
Like that shit. I was happy with somebody that wasn't tweeting and being stupid all the time. Wasn't no tweeting when Bush was around. Wasn't no tweet when Clinton was around either. Like, he just wanted to make that his thing, man. You know, he don't want to go in front of people and talk because he kind of looked like a...
I just look at that shit as distraction. That I like I said, I could give a fuck about. I know what was going on when fucking Clinton was in. It was Cold War. Niggas was getting shaken down all the fucking time. I remember that shit. I remember riding my lowrider Cutlass through the hood and getting stopped all the fucking time. I remember that shit. And it was supposed to be a Mr. Black president in the office, and he was at control of that shit. I remember that shit. I remember I'm riding with my girl, and these motherfuckers got my whole fucking pants down, fucking trying to look for dope and shit, because I didn't have my ID on me. And it was a Democratic Republican or Democratic president in the office then. So I could give a fuck about any of them motherfuckers. They all on the wrong side of trying to boss on melanated people as far as I'm concerned with it. But it seemed like it was more bad when, I mean, like I said, I ain't bigging up no Trump. I ain't bigging up no Obama or anything. But it seemed like the people that say they were really for us, it was really bad, because I don't see no good when Obama was in office. And I ain't gonna lie. What good came out when Obama was in? What good is really coming out with Trump in there? What good was when Bush was in there? I say the only thing I remember with Bush is we got those rebate checks. I remember that shit. I remember getting a rebate check, and I remember I bought a Cadillac off of that shit. That's the only thing I kind of remember. But other than that, it's always been bad with whoever take the office.
I guess in some sort of way, man. I don't like it, man. He needs to just stop with the tweet. I don't approve of what he just, the little move he supposedly pulled up, but, you know, that's going to be him.
Right.
Why can't you just do press conferences like a regular ass president, man? Why you got to be tweeting, man? Like that shit ain't cool, man. That shit is not cool. I know it's the technology age, but you're not even of the technology age. You know what I'm saying?
But think about it like this: how we know he's even actually doing that shit? That's what the media is telling us. That's what he's saying. But is it actually going down like that? You know what I'm saying? We going off of what they're saying on the media. And Trump tweeted. How do I know this shit? Now, if I really rock with this motherfucker and see him doing that, then I'm like, oh yeah, he do be sending them tweets. But I don't know if that shit's for real. You know, this is what they fucking tell us. You know.
Yeah, I wouldn't put nothing past it though. He just don't seem like the brightest bulb. That's what be killing me. Like, dude know that shit be fucking with motherfuckers, and if he still like do that shit, like, man, like, find you something to do, man. Like I said, just be like a regular president, though. Like, he not, you know what I mean? He take it to that level. It's like, he want to just do whatever he want to do. Like, I'm sure it's people that be like, even if he doing it, I'm sure, like, his publicist and, you know, his advisors, like, you need to stop tweeting. You know, just do regular press conferences like president. And he like, no, I'm Donald Trump. I don't want to do that. Like, bro, you're the president. Like, you can't conduct yourself like any other president. Like, everybody got a Twitter, man. Like, I'm just saying, if I didn't have a portfolio, I'd be cool. But that shit started to make me want to dump my damn portfolio. That shit ain't right. You know? He crashing markets and shit because his little stupid ass tweets, man. Like, every time he tweets shit, you know, he be scaring folks. Like, it's like, dude, that's a worldwide market. So anytime he says something dumb, half the people in the globe believe him, and then it causes something. You know what I mean? It causes like a ripple effect. And I'm like, man, I know you rich and you don't care, man, but hey, you know, I pay attention to my shit, you know? I don't like taking hits every time you tweet something and then I gotta hope you come back. Like, man, that ain't, nah. You know, that's what I'm saying. But I think, and he like already supposed to be out of there. It's a weird situation right now, you know. And I ain't seeing no candidate I'm supporting right now either, you know, on the presidential level. But I don't think he's going to be able to get back in there anyway. So, who knows who's going to be in there.
True. That is true. I was going to say.
I thought I saw something saying he got impeached and they just waiting on the House or the Senate or something to do what they got to do, and that'd be a wrap. Because you can't get reelected if you get impeached, can you?
No, but tell me this. Okay, so you get impeached, then what happened, Choice?
Hey, it's luck of the draw.
Luck of what draw?
Luck of the draw.
I'm saying he get impeached. Who takes his place?
Oh, pissed or whatever.
Right. And he's worse than Trump. So you really want that?
He ain't gonna sit in there long, though. He gonna sit in there and chill. The election's over, so I don't think nobody want him either. You still gotta get reelected. You get impeached, you just come on for like the temporary term. You don't automatically get another 4 years.
Let's go back to in the 70s when Richard Nixon got impeached. You know, or resigned or however it worked. The person that took his place was Johnson or Ford. Ford took his spot. He was still Republican, so it was still business carried on with the same style motherfucker. So they do that to make people, you know, oh well, this is get people thinking a certain way. Now this person, no, it's still this same motherfucker in here, you know. It's like you got two dirty cops. Oh, we fired this one, but this other one's still, you know, walking the beat that was with that motherfucker. It's the same shit.
Oh, indeed. Indeed, when it comes to us, because we ain't really got our politics straight. You know what I mean?
Right.
We ain't got our politics straight. We ain't got our own party. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't got a whole lot of things when it comes to that. But I'm just saying, like, that's really the reason. In order to have politics, you gotta have an economy. And majority of our economy, quote unquote, no matter what somebody believes, is illegal. And when you can't make it liquid and you can't use it, and they really don't want you to have it, which makes you scared to have it, you really can't do politics.
Right.
You know, we ain't got no super PAC for melanated people. You know, we ain't got nobody really out there paying people pockets and vouching for us, and that's what politics is. It's just money. It's who control the money, who gets the best law.
Well,
That, hey, once everybody get money, we'll figure that out. But majority of us is broke. Majority.
mm,
I mean, some people have it, but, you know, a lot of people ain't.
right. But think
Compared
about
to everybody else.
the ones that may be having it. You know, they gotta be essentially following the script. Would you believe that too?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Because the way the country is set up is structured. So you're not going to have it if they don't like it. It's a small possibility, but they going to make it real hard. You know, like the same way they took the minister off of all social media.
Right.
That was to make it hard. That was to make it hard.
Right.
You know, control the mass. And we the most control.
Mm.
But, you know, through the ages, not everybody woke, not everybody want to listen, not everybody want to study, and that makes it all worse. You know, when we couldn't read, it was illegal, so it was okay.
Right.
But they've made it to where reading and education is it ain't never been cool, but now some folks don't even want to do it, and it's quote unquote square, or you know what I'm saying? Like it has a negative connotation to it. You know what I'm saying? If you read or you smart, you a nerd.
Right.
The richest people in the world is nerds. So why would that be a big thing in our community, though? You feel me? Like,
Right. But see, people don't think that far to look at it like that. They just look at the topical, like, oh no, this mean this. Well, that's why you're stuck in the rut that you're in, because you're not thinking outside and beyond the box. Really, is no box. You're boxing your own self in this fucking way of thinking. Or
and
not
like
thinking.
like Shaq went to the league, made all that money, when he got a weak ass degree in criminal or something like that, so he could be what is it called, criminal science or something.
Yeah.
And then people don't know Pete got a degree in business, Lil Wayne got a degree. You know what I'm saying? But they don't really talk about it. Like Pete talk about it, but Wayne ain't rapping about that.
Right.
You know, he's still rapping about drinking lean and killing himself on pills. And, you know what I'm saying? But they don't allow us to talk about that because that'll inspire us to do something that's going to cause competition with them.
Right, and they don't want that.
Exactly.
That's why my
they want to
channel
keep us in the matrix.
my channel is heavily discriminated against. When I was talking about shit that damn near seemed like it was coonery buffoonery, that shit was fucking flying. As soon as I got to say, you know what, I'll touch areas about certain shit, but it ain't gonna be just all about that. Oh, wait a minute, he's trying to wake brothers up. We don't want that. We don't want it.
And you already stated though, because you refused to go with the script though.
Right, that too.
You know, a lot of cats, you know, they just want to go with the script. I ain't never really went with the script, man. You know, going with the script ain't never been my thing. You know, a man do what he want, a boy do what he can. Under all necessary circumstances, whether you like it or not. You know, you can't never conform me.
What up, Joe Frank? Joe Frank said yes, yes.
Joe Frank for the Johnson Jews. Joe Frank for the Johnson Jews.
Now tell me this, Choice. Now I'm just speaking as a man. If someone puts your name in some shit, like you co-signing with the shit, but you're not, how you gonna feel about that?
Disrespected.
Right.
Like it's gonna have to be addressed. You know what I mean? I come from when all you got is your word and your bond. You know what I'm saying? And along with that, on some movie shit, some Scarface shit, it's the shit I always heard that I didn't understand. You know, when you really understand some shit, it's on a whole nother level.
Right.
You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Now, your word and your bond, and I was trying to explain this to like one of my guys. Your word and your bond is associated with your name. And once you in the streets and you know, can't nobody else disrespect your name. Cause you gonna have to deal with them on some straight shit if you a straight cat, right?
Right.
And unless you in the street, we the only people that don't really respect our name like that. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't put a whole lot of value in our name just naturally. Like if you in the streets, you just like somebody could like say something and you would just let it go. You know, but in the streets it means a lot because that's what you're known by.
Right.
You know, if you go somewhere, you go to some club, some cat say he whooped your ass, and then somebody be like, oh, who is that? Oh, well, that's Joy. And then the chick like, oh, so-and-so said they whooped your ass. They don't even know me. But it get around in the street.
Mm-hmm.
But other people like like Chunk Jr., his name means a lot to him. You know what I'm saying? Like when he goes somewhere and write it down, Chunk Jr., somebody look like, oh man, that's Chunk Jr. That means a lot to him.
Right.
Like we the only people like you could be a Johnson or you could be a whatever, you know, or a Davis or you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
and it don't mean that much to you. You don't know what your name means. Like that's another thing they took from us. Like we lost that.
Right.
Like back in the day, King, everybody around him knew what King meant. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody around X knew what X meant.
Right.
Everybody, like it meant something. Your name means something so much more than what most people think it means. Like we not even, they didn't took us off that level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like and when I explain it, we need a name in the street. But our government name don't mean nothing to it.
Mm.
They don't acknowledge you in court with your street name. They acknowledge you with your government.
They sure
But the
do.
whole time you've been out here, you ain't been building your real name.
Right.
That's you know, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Mm.
I'm talking about real shit, you know, and a lot of people don't look at it like that.
Mm.
A lot of young men don't look at it like that. Whatever your last name is, everything you do, your jacket run with you, your jacket attached to that name. That's why when you do something and you put yourself in a position of somebody like, oh, you disrespected your family. You disrespected your family because you carry that name.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Right.
we done lost that, and we the only culture that lost that. You know, other cultures, you know, folks that is non-melanated, you know, they listen to whole different music, they play soccer, they be riding around in a big ass trucks that they all put their money in on, they all share, and they whooping our ass economically. They got their big ass name in the back of their truck.
Hmm.
You know what I'm talking about, Reek.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
We don't do that.
Mm-mm.
We don't get these old schools, these Benz, and put our name on our back window.
Sure don't.
Because we don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't feel the same way about our name.
Hmm.
They do that because they want everybody to know, look, I just got this brand new Escalade, this brand new Tahoe, this me.
Hmm.
And then Conkazoid They do it in their own type of way. They do it by blowing their name up in the banks, having all the money, having all the property. They do it when you see such and quote real estate companies, or this company is owned by baseball.
Right.
And this company is owned by, you know what I mean? That's how they do it. Everybody doing it the same way. We don't do it at all. We don't do it at all. For the most part. And that's our problem.
True.
You know, that's one thing we've lost. What Joe Frank on? I ain't looking right now.
Joe Frank, say something else. I know you said yes, and I know you said you're listening. I mean, you know how we do is interaction. You gotta interact. We've been on 130 minutes. I mean, that's quite some time. So it might mean it's time to call it a quits or whatever. But I'll say this: I got an interview that I'll be doing tomorrow. Hopefully, I can have it up by Friday or Saturday. It should be a good one. You know, I think everybody is quite aware with this person that I will be interviewing. I ain't gonna drop the name of who it is, but people know who the person is once I, post it. You'll be like, oh, go ahead.
Is it a known person or somebody new?
No, it's a known person. They've been around for quite a while.
On the show or?
No, they're a rapper. It's someone I never interviewed before, but they're a rapper.
Oh, okay.
Matter of fact, let me do it like this. I'm glad that everybody done came in. I know I was supposed to come in with Williams. I think he KO'd early. Choice picked up the slack. Hey, we do that from time to time. When one of us is off, the other one will pick up, and that's appreciated. I'm glad you came in, Choice. Matter of fact, I'm about to end this particular live stream. Hopefully join me. I might do one early tomorrow, may not, might do it, I don't know. I'll definitely do another one late night, but I'm glad you came in. I'm glad that everybody done came in, and hopefully you enjoyed the replay. You missed the live, but you enjoyed the replay. I'm up out of here.